Whew. It's your man Trent G. Jones, King Trent G. Jones, that is. TV. Make sure you tune in. Check this out. Today I just want to talk about a little bit of sports. I usually don't agree with Skip, but it is a very funny segment between him and Shannon when Skip is telling the truth that Kevin Durant is the best player right now. Um, he's killing everything. He's just really he's like unstoppable. And he's playing defense, and he's rebounding, and he's assisting too. So he's just doing it all. And I agree with Skip. And it's funny because Shannon is like, no, 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 LeBron. And I love LeBron, but I think right now, with this injury, and then the way that Brooklyn put their team together, the way the Clippers put their team together, the Clippers still need to gel and get more ball movement, because if you got to depend on Kawhi to make 40-something points every game in order for y'all to win, that's not a good fit, because you got Paul George, you got Batum, Rondo, Jackson. I mean, you got the twin, Moore's twin. Man, he got pieces. This ain't like LeBron before Kyrie. This ain't like LeBron and the rest of them dudes. This is LeBron with Kevin, Tristan, JR, and Kyrie. So Kawhi got all this help, but the ball still ain't moving. That means too much isolation. That means they don't got the right coach. So I don't see them getting no championship no time soon, unless they get somebody that gets them to move the ball like Brooklyn does. And then Philly, same problem. The ball stops too much one-on-one. They don't have a powerhouse that's going to take over. That's why they got handled. I see maybe Atlanta gelling if they keep their team. Atlanta maybe getting up into the championship in the next 5 years. Maybe the Bucks if they get a shooter and Giannis learns how to shoot outside, because if he can't make a mid-range shot or a three-point wide open, then he's useless, because he's going to just run into the paint and just get jammed up and get charges and stuff. So Milwaukee's going to – I see they have everything, except Giannis just has to develop and then get him a shooter where he doesn't have to be trying to do all that stuff. Just get him somebody – like if he has somebody like Paul George, you know what I'm saying, I would take Paul George over Middleton. And then, but anyway, we just gonna go. So I ain't gonna get into all the trade stuff that I would do. But I just want to say, I see Brooklyn repeating 2 years in a row. They're gonna get stronger and healthier because they're gonna add pieces, and then people that are hurt are gonna come back this year, and then next year they're gonna have. So if they keep everybody and keep their core, they'll be all right. They get two, and then maybe Trae Young can get one. Or Giannis, by that time, been developed his shot, and he'll be getting, it'll be Giannis or Trae Young, and then it'll be Brooklyn, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. It probably in the next 5-6 years, they just be battling back and forth. So I don't see no room for Denver. I don't see no room for Utah. I don't see no room for the Lakers. I don't see maybe Kawhi and them if they get a different coach and the ball moves. Instead, because Tyronn Lue is probably going to do the same thing. I mean, not probably, but he's certainly doing the same thing that he was doing when he was in Cleveland. Like, Bron, just go, Bron, take care of it. And he's telling Kawhi, go take care of it. This ain't that league no more. You need a team, and you need ball movement. Nicholas Batum could give you 20 points. Paul George could give you 20 points, and Reggie Jackson could give you 20 points, and the Moore's twin could give you 20 points. That's 80 points right there. All them dudes can easily score 10 buckets. And then you think about, then you add Rondo. You know what I'm saying? And then Kawhi. So you got to look at that. So that's 110, 115 every game you can average if everybody just hits 20 and you balance it out. You got to really balance. The Clippers have a strong team, but they don't know how to balance it out. That's why if you look, KD hit 35, Kyrie hit 32, Harden hit 29. But all three of them is up in double figures, and they high double figures. And then the rest of the squad, you'll see like Brown with 8 or 10, and Joe Harris with 20, or 18, and Claxton with 8. DeAndre Jordan with 8. Jeff Green, when he healthy, he got 10 to 15. Blake Griffin 10 to 15. And then you got Green, Griffin, Claxton, Jordan, them is all rebounds. KD rebounding, and then so everybody's doing their part, and it's a beautiful combination. I'm with Brooklyn all the way because everybody talk crazy about Kyrie, and I hope Allah bless the young brother. And they talk crazy about KD, and I hope Allah bless the young brother. They talk crazy about Harden, so I hope they just be able to just do it for the next couple of years and represent, and that just be a beautiful thing because, man, they playing real ball. So I don't see nobody else stepping up doing that at this moment. And unless you get some good trades in, like you're not gonna you have to build your squad now. You have to have us because it's not like see. And what's crazy is how when Barkley talk crazy about Durant and LeBron or whoever having help and all that. You got to think about when Charles Barkley came into the league. He came into the league in Philly with the Doc, right? Moses Malone. And then he go from Philly. He supposed to be the man, but it don't happen in Philly. Then he go down to where is he at? Phoenix with Marley and he can't never talk crazy about LeBron or KD going somewhere. You talking about when Barkley went to Phoenix, it was Kevin Johnson, it was Dan Marley, Cedric Ceballos, Tom Chambers. They had a powerhouse, yo. There was no reason for them to lose to that year. When they had that squad, there was no need for Barkley and them to lose that year at all. You know what I'm saying? But they did. And so that's why I be tripping like how y'all always be talking about people stacking their teams up. Well, you look back like Kareem, Magic, Worthy, Scott, you know what I'm saying, and Rambis. And you know, or you go back, you know, they all had, you know, Bird, McHale, Paris, DJ. Man, teams was stacked then. Isaiah, Dumars, Rodman, Mahorn, Lambeer. Teams was stacked. Microwave coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? You think about Kenny Smith. You think about Olajuwon, Robert Ory, Vernon Maxwell. Man, these teams was, you know what I'm saying? You know, Mario Ellie. Teams was stacked. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Mario Ellie, Sean Elliott. Man, them dudes, bruh, you gotta think about them dudes everybody was stacked back then, you know. So can't nobody say there's really a team that's more stacked than the other. It's just one team that's focusing more than the other. This NBA is turning back to the 1980s NBA. It's going to get physical, and people are going to have to start hitting the weight room. So you're going to see people get bigger. You're going to see Durant get stronger next year. His physicality, he's going to get bigger, gain 5 or 10 pounds of muscle, because they're seeing the grind of this playoff series now. The body, the physicality of it all. Now you're going to see the players starting to develop and get stronger, like the 80s, you know, the 70s and the 80s. Them was in the 90s. Them games was like, woo! Like, you know, even Isaiah and Magic was partners, but Isaiah come through the lane and Magic just, because Zeke was coming through there just freaking and just, right hand, left hand, floater. You know what I'm saying? And Magic like, hey, man, hey, Zeke, man, hey, man, I love you, man, but get up out of here. And, you know, and they was partners. You know, you think about Shaq and Barkley fighting. I think Shaq still don't like Barkley to this day, for real. And I think Barkley know, but I don't think Barkley give a damn because he don't give a damn. But then, you know, you just think about this era right now and the way these things is going, and you're going to have to, I mean, there's other teams that's good, and there's other teams that have good young players like Phoenix. I see them. They're good. They're young. They're developing. What they lack, I have no idea. Maybe it's a Paul George. Maybe they need a Paul George. Maybe if you compliment, you take, I just like PG-13 because I think he's a good outside shooter and he can penetrate. He can create his own shot off the dribble and he can pass. So I feel like PG is like the perfect power forward or small forward, and he can go from power forward to small forward. That's what's so cold. PG, man, I think he's like would be a perfect fit for a lot of teams other than right now the Clippers. I believe like you could put Paul George right now on any squad that has a good point guard and knows how to find him. Like you imagine right now if you take Paul George and you would have put him on the Nuggets right now. You know how explosive that would make Denver? You know what I mean? Like just think about even with Murray going down, you think about, damn, I gotta come out here and face Gordon, I gotta face KD, I gotta you know what I'm saying? It ain't even about Jokic. I gotta face Jokic and I gotta face PG. It would be a whole different dynamic now. You'd be like, whoa, they don't even got a big three. They got like a big five or something, you know, a big four or something. And that's how you have to think about it. So I'm looking at the Lakers front office. They did all those movements last year, and I mean this year they did all those movements, but last year they was the champs, and they didn't stick with what got them there. They tried to go with a new formula, and it didn't work. So that shows you now that you have to go back to the old school style of at least developing your team for 3 to 4 years. So if you're serious about a contract, you're serious about, I mean, not a contract, but if you're serious about a championship, then you're going to put at least a 3-year contract with a 4th-year option to opt out if it ain't working. But 3 years, you got to give it some time to grow and develop. But these teams win once and then they leave. So then you look at all the pieces that you needed. You really missed Howard, shot blocking, rebound ability, sprinting up the floor, catching alley-oops. You know what I mean? You setting, picks and doing everything. You miss Rondo running the squad. LeBron could sit down and chill, and Rondo go out there and just run with the youngsters and have fun. He just whoop, whop, whoop, whoop. Rondo just killing, and then they say, "Oh, playoff Rondo." That's the same Rondo. That's Rondo, homie. You just got it. That's Rondo. He just got older. He got hurt. You can't dog him and talk crazy about him. You a bitch ass nigga to talk about Rondo. Rondo's a G. You know what I'm saying? Rondo got taught by Doc Rivers. He had Paul Pierce ball hogging ass on the other side of the court. Like soon as Rondo get past half court, Paul Pierce like, give me the ball. Rondo throwing the ball. But then Doc like, hey man, if you the general, you the floor general, run your house or either I'm gonna find somebody else. And Rondo took heed, and Rondo went out there and you wave Paul Pierce off. Get your ass over there where you need to be. And KG, come up here and set this pick. Let's do this pick and roll. And when Rondo ran, that's when the Celtics got their ring. When Rondo ran. People didn't pay attention to that. Like LeBron. LeBron is great and all that. But if you look, think about it. What if Kyrie don't average 20-something a game in the playoffs and then hit them couple of big shots that he did at the end of the game against Golden State? What if Kyrie don't come and show up? Does Cleveland get a ring? I think not. People don't pay attention to the people, the real people, the glue. You know what I'm saying? The foundation of the thing. So you're looking at Brooklyn, I think they have an extremely solid foundation with the pieces that they have, and they play together. They move the ball. That's the most dangerous thing in the world. They look like the Lakers, like Magic Man, just beep bop boop bat beep 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 ball movement, and it's insane. So LeBron, I love you, man. You had a good career. I love watching you. I was just watching your documentary last night, and it was dope, But I don't know. Maybe if the Lakers feel like the Lakers really need to get them some pieces, because that was crazy. I was like, Gasol, yeah, he can hit the outside, he can stretch the deep, but he can't hold nobody, and he's slow as molasses. Come on, bruh. Him for Howard, that did not even make sense. And then you're gonna take Clay Matthews over Rondo, or streaky shooter over Rondo, because you don't want to pay him, but you'll pay these dudes. You could have left Clay Matthews where you could, I mean, whatever his name was. You could have left Matthews where he was. You could have left. Uh, you could have left Matthews where Harrell was willing to take a pay cut. So you could have just picked up Harrell, kept Rondo, kept Howard, and just picked up McLemore. And if you'd have picked up just McLemore and Harrell, and then just kept your squad, that'll let Kuzma grow. And I feel like Kuzma needs to get out of LA right now so that he can grow. He needs to be Kyrie. He needs to get the hell away from LeBron because LeBron keeps changing the narrative, focusing on, I need a big time, I need this. So LeBron is, now they're going to focus on AD, and then they get Moore's twin, and then they get, all these other players, Rondo, and then now you're going, but then now you don't add Kuzma into the Knicks and let him grow and develop to be an intricate part. You don't depend on Kuzma like Magic depended on Worthy, and like Magic depended on Cooper or Scott or Kareem. If I give you the correct pass, I depend on you. But he knew he could depend on Kareem like he depended on Worthy, like he depended on Rambis, like he depended on Scott. He depended on his team. See? And I feel like they pushed Kuzma out the way. And I feel like Kuzma got y'all stunning his growth and development. And I feel like he need to get the hell away from LeBron like Kyrie did. That's why Kyrie finally, through his couple years, he went through it, but now you see what he's doing. And then you see like I feel like Kuzma he could be a good piece too. He's like a, player. He can go to the rack slash. He could shoot outside. He can hit mid range. He could dunk. He can play defense. He hustles. But he has to be encouraged too. So I think Kuzma would be a good fit too, somewhere like Denver, like the Nuggets. That'd be like a beautiful fit, because you could bring him 6 man off the bench behind Porter, and then boom, he could just win 6 man of the year. But when he come in, he could just go crazy. That way, his game can develop. He can just get out there and do what he do. Or you could start him at you can even start him over, somewhere like Golden State. You can just shoot, be open and shoot and produce. But that's just my little thoughts and opinions, man. And I'm just kicking it y'all with a little bit of sports talk. And I just gave my opinion, and if y'all feel y'all agree, y'all can leave y'all comments below. It's all good. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. 5280, one love.